I'm getting paid to do. Beyond the fear, bridging the gap with AI to advance equity and personalized learning through Rewind for Your Life. Right? Did I get that right?
It's okay.
Okay, let's give a welcome to our speaker and try to try to save some time again for questions too.
So, hi, my name is Rachel. I'm a junior political science major. I'm a veteran RA, and I'm the vice president of the Food Recovery Network. And my app is called Remind for Your Learning. According to Newsroom at collegeboard.org, nearly 50% of college faculty believe that AI undermines learning and encourages cheating. Yet 60% of students that I surveyed in Lane over this past semester have said that they use AI to help break down instructions and just tailor like the instructions given for assignments to their learning style. Traditionally, there are three specific learning styles. You have visual, kinesthetic, and auditory. And a lot of people, like for myself, being a kinesthetic learner, I don't take the like assignments and put them in there. I do it, I just put them in there so it can help me understand it better. Christina Costa from the Intertech peer-reviewed journal titled Using AI to Honor Support says that over 40% of students use AI on a daily basis on their assignments. My thesis is that higher education should adopt intentionally designed AI tools like Rewind for Your Learning because they help reduce structure barriers in higher education by transforming recorded lectures into personalized learning. My three main points are that AI addresses real equity gaps in learning, provides a practical and ethical solution that supports diverse learners, and it creates long-term academic benefits. Costa says that AI can be ethically and effectively used through education systems by offering individualized support that traditional like instructions can't provide. Involved in my survey, I took, as you can see, we have a like definitely different diverse list of majors and the type of students that I did. I did students on campus, students that do online, and commuters to just get a broad range of who I was talking to. This is my year of study data. It's not as, I don't know if you can see because all the colors are like blue. Sorry, blue's my favorite color. But you have 33% of them were seniors or fourth year students, 20% were juniors and third year students, 20% was also sophomores and second years, 20% was also freshmen and first years, and then 7% of grad students. What's the matter? Oops, sorry. Rewind for Your Learning does just, oops, sorry. Rewind for Your Learning, it helps people learn and just do adapt AI to their different learning styles. Many students don't have the time or resources or the same amount of time. Like I know me doing being RA and doing other things, I don't have the same amount of time as a student athlete, and they don't have the same amount of time as somebody that might be commuting back and forth to school and still working. So my app does just that. It helps people just break down their time better and help them succeed. So my three, it was four survey questions, but these were the three main ones. Was what is your biggest single frustration when attending lecture? And over 53% of students said remembering the specific information taught in lecture. My second question was, would you use a survey that automatically generates personalized flashcards and study summaries based off your recorded lectures and your learning style? So you'll upload the lecture, it'll take it based off your learning style, it'll make a study guide to that specific one. And 67% of students said yes. 73% of students answered no when I asked, does your lectures and assignments feel tailored to your learning style? The point of me asking these questions was so I could represent underserved communities, such as commuters like my friend Jalen. She comes to school every day. She lives like an hour away, and then she comes to school. She goes back home. Then she goes to work after and does the same thing over again. So her amount of study time is not going to be the same as somebody like me who lives on campus and has access to those resources on a day-to-day basis. My most current survey question I asked was how often do you find yourself trying to study and forgetting important information? And as you can see, 40% of people said occasionally, 20%, 27% of people said daily, meaning every single like study session or every single class, they're forgetting something their professor said. And then 27% of people also said 1 or 2 times a semester. I know for me, it's definitely occasionally like I say once a week in lecture, I forget something was said, whether it's an assignment, a due date, something is gone off and can't remember what it was. Garcia, Ramos, and Kennedy from the Frontiers Learning Institute stated that over 90% of college students decline in their memory as the years go on. Also, it's normal that neurodivergent students, people who have things such as autism, Asperger's, or ADHD, often have different brain chemistry, making them forget things that are being said in lecture. And my app will help solve that problem. Sorry. How apps for like Rewind for Your Learning solves the problem. Sorry, went ahead. Some list of things that this app offers is that it takes uploaded lectures and syllabuses from students and gives reminders to them. It also takes your transformed lectures and makes them into timestamp materials and can be converted into study tools such as notes, note cards, games, and quizzes. The cost is under $15 and it gets billed in your overall university tuition, so you don't have to pay anything out of pocket more than your tuition already covers. What happens if we adopt this system? If we adopt this system, it reduces stress for neurodivergent students, improves retention, helps more equitable outcomes, and students' biggest frustration, which was 53% of people struggling to recall things said in lecture, gets solved. It benefits athletes, commuters, student workers, neurodivergent students, non-traditional students, and many more. And over here, I don't know if y'all can see it. This is our published chart. It shows you the public that we're serving and then the resources that it would provide for that public specifically. Why should you care? Institutions should adopt Rewind for Your Learning according to, sorry, institutions should adopt Rewind for Your Learning because according to Rasha Shani, she co-wrote the Journal of Intelligent Learning Systems in AI in 2023 when it first started. She stated that AI expands equitable access to learning by providing individualized support that traditional instruction cannot consistently deliver. I believe students should advocate for this because learning inequities often affect academic performance and retention. And because many students don't have the same access to traditional study resources, Rewind for Your Learning provides a guide and kind of like a helper to that. I think faculty should support intentionally designed AI apps because Faith, and Powell said in the MPG Mental Health Research Journal, AI tools that are designed ethically and are well regulated should be supported because their systems enhance teaching by reducing these inequities and preserving instructors' control over learning environments. Sorry, guys. This is my bibliography of sources. We have the college newsroom, my own data that I collected from this entire semester. The Intertech Open eBooks, the MPG Mental Health Research, Frontiers in Education, and Harnessing AI to Foster Equity and Opportunities in Emerging Students. Any questions?
I have an invitation.
Yes.
For you, Rachel. So,
Sorry, I know that was very fast. I was like, I'm going.
no, you're cutting edge. This is cutting edge. First, a quick comment. When it comes to AI, students are way ahead of faculty. They are using it more, using it better. Not all faculty, but a lot of faculty. And faculty, I think, often see AI as a cheat machine. instead of, supplemental instruction, which is what you're suggesting. My invitation to you is that CAR is responsible for ORI 101. Right now, we're working with the library, Dr. Flynn, and IT to implement a AI module into ORI so that every ORI student, every first time student has information on ethical uses for AI, how AI can support their learning, that sort of thing. So would you consider consulting and serving on our work group? I'd love to have.
Thank you. Yes.
Just want to comment on how innovative and cutting edge this is. I could even see it being used outside of the higher educational arena, in terms of maybe places of employment where, neurodivergence isn't, localized just to academic institutions, but in so many different places and in different capacities. And I'm thinking about how much something like this could bless people as they're being onboarded, as they are giving even presentations for the companies they work for, and just how much we overlook different learning styles because of the traditional measurements that we use. And I absolutely love this focus on equity but accessibility for students in the different ways that they show up. So way to go. I think this is really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really thought the topics are very, very timely right now. But like I teach math, so one of the things I notice about students is this is such a distractor, and I think it like like that you had like 53% said that they can't remember things. And, like really think this has a lot to do with it. Whereas like it's so part of your culture, like students' culture that they don't know how to just let go of it. I have students that can't work in my class unless they're watching cooking videos. They're literally like this the whole time. And but I grew up, I could actually disconnect. I could say, okay, this is I understand this space, but I think has a lot to do with it. I was going to ask you too: is that a tool that $15 like it's available right now,
Oh no, I made this
or
up.
something like you could develop? Yeah,
Like probably if that was like maybe a backup plan, but it was definitely
Yeah.
like because we had to create an app for our strategic communication class
yeah,
for that final last year, and that's just what I came up with.
yeah. That's very nice. There's something I don't know if you ever seen the one product that Google had. It's like Notebook LM. Like professors could actually put all of their notes in that right now and share that with their students, and I bet you very few, if any, do that currently. But yeah, I think that would really help if folks use it. But the thing I also worry about too, like if you ever use AI, that you might ask AI to help you make sense of an idea, but then it always says, "Would you like me to do
Right.
this? Would you
Yeah.
like me to do that?"
Right.
And how do you not like
Right.
reach for that and say yes, please? But I guess if you design an app, you can give it a master prompt to say, "Don't do those kinds of things."
Right.
Yeah.
I want to comment on what you said. I think the ship sailed. The distraction thing, like we're not going to pull that back. It's almost like
Yeah.
we're moving from oral tradition to print and how that changed, how human beings thought. I mean, reading really, we weren't hardwired to read, right? Reading came very late in our development. So think back when everything was oral tradition and passed down, and now everybody's telling you to write things down and I think we're at that point now where, that unplugged or, written word, it's just the ship has sailed. We have to figure out ways to utilize this. And what I love is like being able to upload the lecture notes and get, bulleted points because my students really do like with note taking, they can't figure out what's important and they're writing everything down. In my job, we have a success platform called Navigate. So every time you meet with me, after you leave, I type up notes, right? And that's the hardest part of my job, like constantly writing those notes, writing those notes. Navigate is recently rolled out an AI option. If students agree, it records our meeting and then bullet points out, what student's gonna do, what advisor's gonna do. I mean, it just allows me to spend more time with students and less time with the, tedium of writing those notes. So anyway, it's happening in the workplace. We've got to figure out a way to use it in the university.
I agree with that. I think like it just crashes into what we do so much that people don't understand we're gonna have to redesign and just rethink everything we do in higher ed. Because it's not gonna go away.
My thoughts to both of those things are though, because now I'm getting all apocalyptic. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
People are
well,
scared.
right. I'm
Tech
like,
people are scared.
well, what does it mean for, I think something like this is very innovative, but if the challenge that's presented to humans, like you were saying, is to slow down and to do something like read a book, which requires a different kind of level of focus and intentionality, will that impact things like authorship? Will it impact innovation in ways that come about by like the tedious task of sitting down and kind of like going through the funnel? And are we? This is probably a strong word. Are we, in a sense, maybe potentially regressing in a way by dependency on AI? And so, where is the balance? Like, I think something like this, in terms of accessibility, is super beneficial. But then I think about the abuses that could come from folks who may not necessarily need it, so to speak,
Mhm.
and those who are not impacted by neurodivergence in any capacity, right? Like, is this like, I guess, disadvantageous to them? Like, is it like you were saying? I had to stop AI last night when I was trying to understand the history of a text. Say, without solving it for me, what does this mean,
Right,
right?
right,
And it still tried to solve it for me,
right,
And so I'm like,
right,
okay, so
exactly.
how do we navigate that balance? Not with this particular thing, right?
Right.
But like,
Just as a whole.
yeah, how do we, I guess, protect it from being abused? And can you protect it? I don't know. I mean, I would definitely use this. There's things I forget in my meetings and my team meetings all the time. Can we just upload this meeting, please? Rachel, I have one question for you. What area of challenge do you think this may present? Um, or rather, what area of challenge have you found in its overall design?
I think just trying to like, I don't think people are as, I think we've definitely like come a long way with people being open about like their disabilities, but I think like, how do you say like, I feel like because you're neurodivergent, you need this. Like it's
Mhm.
trying to get it like to the person. I feel like is going to be an issue. And then I think some professors are still going to be like, well, this person has this tool. Does that eliminate them having extra time at the tutoring center? Is that eliminate that whole aspect of it as a whole? If they have this tool, then we can just like you don't get both. So I feel like that would like the biggest challenge would be.
That's a good point.
Our time has come to an end.
Any other questions?
Fantastic. Really.
Let's give it a try. Thank you.
Sorry, let me get a picture.
Oh, my hands on first. Russian. I was like, I'm not gonna have time to put these here, but I guess I'm just gonna
Disability services, like some of those.
I saw the cross.
I should think they were, people probably already found it's like real specialized.
like
Subscribe to. They do so much. There's so many things.
11, 15,
And
like why?
a lot of those things, if like a little.
I was on my way trying to
Technically buy
like
models.
close off engagement.
I'm fine with doing it.
I said too much. I'm getting rid of my things that
Buying models.
I was like, this is smart. Let's go away.
How must be engagement?
I know.
That's right.
Like this presentation. So I'll call back and encourage you a little bit. And I want to focus on my survey because it's my trying to sit down and do it Rachel so you come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some. Yeah.
Yeah, you like
Very active. That this can
yeah.
One thing I learned is whenever all these companies need to get that benchmarks, solving a math problem, writing a story.
Got
So
to eat it.
the audience will solve to
It's already get apprenticeship towards that.
so that's why I love
Like
it.
why?
They'll never tell you I don't already myself you would like the Stanford myself. Model.
I didn't even
So,
put the right sweatshirt.
Center-
I was like, oh
It was just
no, well,